Good afternoon, dear friends. My name is Alexey Ognev, CEO of the ecosystem DigiU. Welcome to our regular webinar. Today we're gonna talk about different topics, what events we had 2 last weeks, what plans we have for December and November, and most importantly, we want to answer your questions, because doing this, we managed to explain clearly what we do. So please write your questions in our chats to make it not only useful only for you, but for all the audience, and to make it useful for everybody who watch us in different languages. Okay, today we are to talk about, first thing is snapshot. It is an event that we had 2 times in October, on 10th and 31st of October. These were events that allowed us to allocate tokens between our investors. It was very important and we were asked for it, and it took place and it was successful, and I'll try to talk about it. Well, the first thing, we allocated about 8 million tokens of EYWA, and all those who met all the terms got tokens and bonuses, because this allocation, this profitability was as a bonus that we shared with our investors. And to get dividends, you have just to purchase shares and you get dividends to all of your shares. And the rest is bonus. And EYWA tokens were bonus. And the terms were really simple. The most important thing was to pay out your installment and be an investor. And these 2 terms allowed us to concentrate your attention on your responsibility concerning installments. When you choose installment as a convenient payment method. And I underline that our company awaits from our partners to be responsible, and we will pay attention to these parameters in future when we allocate our tokens. That is very important. When we plan our activities, we consider then that this month or the next we will have certain amount of payments, and it affects our goals. Okay, after snapshot, we posted several news about tokens of EYWA, how you can use it and what you can do with that. And another event that took place in October is increase of share price. And every increase we base on some achievement. And in October, and maybe last half of a year, the most important achievement was EYWA mainnet launch. And now, before the webinar, I talked with Peter CTO of EYWA. And if you watched the last webinar, we talked with Peter Tagonov about AI strategy, about blockchain laboratory and AI laboratory, and all of our ecosystem. So please watch this webinar. So before this webinar, I asked Peter about the last information on what is the situation with EYWA mainnet launch. Well, not everybody are following our news, and Peter recorded a vast message regarding EYWA mainnet launch, what is the stage now, and in some seconds we will play it. And before it, I want to say EYWA is in mainnet now. And now let's listen to Peter Tagonov. Okay, now EYWA is in mainnet. All the smart contracts are located, and their first liquidity is located. So all the transactions and all the possibilities that we planned to release are available in mainnet. For example, our site, which is used for transfer money, it is still locked with login and password in order to make it possible for testers and developers to test and use these functions. Now we are making everything settled, and we eliminate some minor faults, errors. We don't have any big errors. And next week we are planning to place not $100 but $1,000 of liquidity. And also next week this functionality will be available, I guess, for everybody. But it's not time to use this functionality in everyday activity to transfer money. And I don't recommend you to do it now. It's not time now to invite investors to do it, because now we have a period of long audits, and apart this we will have 2 bug bounty programs for users and hackers in order to find and eliminate any faults or errors, and also not obvious errors regarding smart contracts, pull-offs, DAO protocols, and so on. So all the parts that are connected with money. So now what we have now is kind of technical mainnet. And talking about commercial mainnet, when any user can safely place his or her money and buy some tokens and transfer through cross-chain and so on, I would say it will be safe after hacker program, after these audits. And now, who can use it? I think these are bloggers or testers and everybody who are interested to touch EYWA but it is still a bit risky, and it's not worthy to do it with big amounts of money. But you can use some small amounts to see the commissions, and if you find some mistake, please tell us, and we will pay you for this. We will reward users who find mistakes in EYWA. And you will get NFT for this. So if you want to test, welcome, you can do it and you will be rewarded. Because we want to make EYWA safe for everybody. And also, I would say, why we are in mainnet and we have reached our goals. Soon we will start to integrate a lot of projects. A lot of them wanted to do it. They waited for mainnet launch. To prove the safety and start integration. And now we are going to integrate projects in EYWA or with EYWA, so that when the EYWA is completed commercial product, we can integrate a lot of projects safely. Okay, Peter, thank you for this information. When I have listened to it, I understood that it is not possible to retell this message. So this was a record of his speech. And it was really detailed. So we have reached our goal, and we always are moving ahead of our roadmap, and we get used to reach our goals. Congratulations! If you are not happy with this message, you can re-listen this, and it was quite concentrated information. I would underline again that soon EYWA will be available for all the audience, but before audits, we are not recommending you to use it with big amounts of money. And this is the key point here. Audits is the most important thing in every product, and this process is quite experience for us, and we don't recommend you to risk, because the product is not yet proved. So it is risk, so we don't recommend you to do it. But if you're interested to do it, you're welcome. But again, congratulates that we have achieved our goals. So as we talked earlier in webinar, in several months after mainnet, that for everybody who is interested in our work, we will show how the project works, what unique features and approaches of liquidity transfers we have in this project, and after it we will have a token generation event. and we will start another stage of EYWA development. We think that it will be in some months, but more details information we will give you for sure. You will not miss it. Well, okay, that was about snapshot and mainnet. You can ask something about this, but now we are moving on. Last webinar with Peter Tagunov, we discussed strategy of DigiU and how we see our development, our fast development next year, and with the help of what we are going to do it. Now I wanna highlight this and repeat some information. Well, we talked about AI laboratory, blockchain laboratory, the developments of our ecosystem that are involved in researching of market and technologies, and they are called as laboratories. They research, and in some points they will be the first development, and after it we will see some technology that our specialists consider as trend-setting, or some that will be in demand in near future. And we created conception of digital personality. It was transferred into metaverse, and in this process of research we got technology that is a base of EYWA, and this very approach we consider as the most correct. As we see trends, we can successfully gather expertise in it and transfer some ideas and thoughts or dreams into some projects that we can use in some years. And it is important, what is the most important point that moves the projects into market, and what transfers ideas into products that give us money and change industry and influence share price, dividends, and other parameters. So this point is venture fund. So this was the way that EYWA emerged. And it is not only about crowd investing, but classic one. So we get an MVP, then we won several hackathons, and we understood that venture fund should invest this to make it possible to move it into market and to cover some percentage of it. So venture fund is this clue role. And we talked already that venture fund is the next stage of our ecosystem development. And the approach with which we will work next year is the next stage. And now we are on the stage that conception is being completed with this venture fund, and I think that by the birthday of our company, beginning of December, we will have a conference. The date we will inform you later. And in this conference, we will present you this stage in details. We will present the products and spheres that we are planning to invest in, and we will present our first products that are potentially able to be in our ecosystem. We will tell you about new technologies. That we wanna get into our ecosystem, why are they important for us, and why we want to get it. And then we will have a full and detailed discussion of our strategy. So everybody who are interested in this, all our investors and partners, can dive into it and use it. Well, currently, we are moving quite successfully. And now I'm looking for, and I see some questions that are connected with dividends payouts and also with some mechanics of venture fund operation and so on. So I want you to understand where the ecosystem DigiU is moving. And I want to answer with the help of your questions and tell you more detailed about all this. Well, now we are keeping a kind of secret, but now I understand, we know how we will do it. And what driver can it get to our ecosystem development? When into our infrastructure, we have new projects, not only ideas, but more or less ready technologies and products. And with all of this, our ecosystem will grow very fast, and we will be able to build this metaverse very quickly. And we want to make it possible to have enough money, enough resources to build this metaverse. And we are trying to make it with different approaches. One of these approaches is our own earnings, is financial cushion, and the second one is attracting investments from big investors, and we tried to keep these contacts, but attracting of such investments is not very short period, and still it is successful for us. And the third approach is our partner network that allows us to achieve our goals within 3 years. And now we are planning to develop crowd investing, and we're gonna make it more clear, more convenient way to use it. And last month we have more and more new partners from different countries, and we are really grateful. Well, okay, now questions. Firstly, from the Russian chat. Hello, when will be the next snapshot? When will be the dividend payouts and how many shares are purchased. Well, the date of the next snapshot is not settled yet, is not discussed. Maybe there will be no snapshot. We don't have such a goal to allocate all the tokens, and we are going to realize several approaches to earn on these investments on EYWA. And it is staking and farming and the other abilities that will be with us with EYWA. So we are not planning yet to have this snapshot, at least when we don't have a necessity of it. So I think that the next stage of implementation of these tokens will be a stage of earning of it on it, and paying out not in a way of tokens, but as money. I think it will be interesting too, and we will talk about it later. Well, when is dividend payout? Well, usually we do it twice a year. We have done it this year in summer, and the next one will be at the end of this year or the beginning of the next. Of course, we will inform you, and I guess in the conference devoted to our birthday, we will give you such an information. How many shares are purchased? Well, currently there are gifted and purchased shares are about 200 millions. So it is approximate. So it is a bit more than 1% of the whole amount that we prepared for implementation. But talking about purchased shares, they are about 180 millions, and the rest are gifted as a bonus. Next one. Hello, testnet of node owners will be in some months or not? Well, okay. We will have to have nodes. So there will be testnet after it. So you should Okay, we will not give you exact date now, but all our team is concentrated on a smooth run of our product, and this will be the next stage of development. Okay, and, questions from other chats? Okay, where we are going to have shares when the event will took place. Well, okay, we will have several exchanges where we will have a token listing, and about the date, as I already told, it will be in some months after mainnet. I think it will be in the first quarter of 2023. We will inform you about it later. Is EYWA in Binance Net now? Because BNB is one of the tokens that was noted in news. Okay, look, we are having a lot of negotiations with different blockchains and companies, and Binance Lab is one of the companies of them. And a lot of such negotiations and with some formalities when we agree to communicate. Less negotiations ends with some integrations and investments. About Binance Net, I don't have any open information for you now, because we have some inner information, and when we will have an opportunity to open this information, I will do it. What about rewards and audit? Does it mean that financing in December was not achieved? So, if you're talking about earning of EYWA in December, well, no, it will not manage to give earnings. And dividends in December will not include earnings from EYWA, sorry. It will include EYWA and wealth, and a part of these earnings will be allocated as dividends. What is the best strategy to attract more partners and connect to DigiU? Any ideas from Alexey? Okay, I see several stages how we can attract investors and tell about EYWA to make your team grow. First, you should understand the product. You should be an investor and understand what are the prospects in one market, what is the value of the market, and you have to know how to tell about it. I am not a leader of team gathering. I'm more CEO, and I don't have personal experience how to assemble teams. So, from my point of view, the following strategy is the best. We have leaders in almost every country. We can connect you with this personality, and usually this person knows how to assemble team, how to tell about the project, how to attract investors, and how to achieve goals. So please text me or our team, and we will connect you with these leaders, because it is of interest of them too. And when the interest is shared, the goal is achieved faster. Okay, when you are planning to quit share sell. Okay, look. In the near future, we are not going to stop selling of our shares. Let me remind you that crowd investing have 20 billion shares, and currently we implemented about 1%. And crowd investing as an approach to attract investments is a good approach. And we as a team that achieve these goals, we also want positive value. And I want to underline this, that at the situation now in the world, I'm talking about economical and political crisis and in cryptocurrency market crisis, it is vital to have a crowd investing for every product. And this year I got so many requests from different teams that said that how you manage to work smoothly in this difficult situation and launch new developments and consider some startups, because only the largest funds have not stopped the activity, and you are among them. So how do you manage to plan your future when we have such a situation now? And they are asking to teach them to do it. So for us and for the ecosystem, DigiU, this crowd investing approach was the best way. And we are not planning in the near future to change and stop this process. We are planning to fulfill our venture fund with it and launch new products into market with it. And we are going to implement our mission with the help of it. And we are going to change this world to make every person the main beneficiary of the activity of all the modern technologies. So the more investors we have, the more possibilities to change this world. So the crowd investing is ideal for these purposes. Well, people are keeping asking in Vietnamese about DigiU ecosystem. Will it be a separate department, of translations from Vietnamese? Well, that's great that there are a lot of questions from different countries. Well, maybe we will create some separate teams to answer these questions. Maybe it will be online, and we are going to connect our leaders from that countries and somehow control it. Could you please tell what is the amount of money in DigiU Wealth? Well, it is about $3 or maybe $4 million. It is quite approximate because yesterday there was a big change in dollar. And maybe in some weeks or in our conference we will tell you about it more detailed. So please wait a little bit. Will there be a reference program of EYWA? Well, okay, it is not implied to have a reference program of EYWA, because it is no need to use partner program, but for testing, for example, or attracting audience. At the early stages, there were some partner programs that allowed us to attract testers and motivated people to enter EYWA network. So these were questions from foreign for me chats. Let's go back to the Russian one. I don't see any new questions. So, okay, I want to underline again on some important points. Venture fund as a next stage of development. The next one is EYWA mainnet launch and further activity in mainnet. Snapshots and the future, the third anniversary of DigiU, of DigiU ecosystem. So there will be a lot of cool and important events and news, and maybe we'll have another increase of share price, and of course dividend payout that will take place soon. So invite your partners to our webinars and share the information. So, thank you everybody and goodbye.